Hello, Dr. Karen Kan here. Welcome to another edition of the Spiritual Medicine Digest. This week's topic is around the inhalation and exhalation cycles of the universe, but not just the universe, the Infiniverse, all of creation. But before we continue into our topic for today, go ahead, if you're on my YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so every time I have a new video, you will be notified. So back to our topic. Now, I have known for quite some time that there is kind of like cycles, cycles of creation, destruction. I mean, you know about cycles, right? Like the cycles of spring, summer, autumn, fall. There's the rain cycle. Yeah, there's so many different cycles that are part of the natural universe. And as we were going through this massive ascension process, I like to call it the expansion process, where we are evolving. Things were naturally expanding, including our clairs, meaning our spiritual gifts, all this kind of stuff. So I just thought, well, I mean, in my lifetime, we'll probably keep expanding. Who knows how many thousands of years more will we be expanding? On some level, I knew there was a time, if you will, not that time's a real thing, but there's a time in the created universe that we will be going in the opposite direction. Now, when I mean opposite, I don't mean we are de-evolving, but that all of creation expanding does not occur forever, that eventually that breathing in will then finally pause and start breathing out or exhaling. Well, interestingly, I got news from source the other day that exhaling has begun. Now, I really didn't think it was going to happen in our timeline, but okay. So what does that look like? Well, I'm not really sure, except that a couple things are apparent. Number one is we are not de-evolving. Okay, so I just want to get rid of that misconception. So what happens when we're not expanding and we're actually contracting? This might seem like a bad thing to some people because we're so used to hearing about the expansion of our consciousness and the universe and all that kind of stuff, right? So we tend to polarize good and bad when that happens. And so the thought of involution feels almost like icky to some people. Like, what do you mean? Like, I thought we were expanding everything. Well, if you're involuting, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to a lower vibration, that you're going to a lower consciousness. So let's get rid of that thought because things continue to evolve, at least as far as I can understand in my limited human capacity, that things continue to evolve. But the involution process is like the inhale and exhale, in this case, the exhale of the Infiniverse. Okay, so let's back up and go, well, what's inhale? So imagine that the entire universe and the entire Infiniverse, all of creation, began with a dot, like a single dot of nothing. And in this no thing, or I like to call the singularity, it's sort of like almost like God had an idea, and the idea was like, I would like to experience myself, but I can't until there are two of me. So I can experience, a contrast. I'm simplifying all this, of course. So God created the other. And at least in our universe, it is in the form of the flower of life, the three-dimensional flower of life, not necessarily the one you see, on Google Images. And so that is the building blocks, if you will, the sacred geometry is the building blocks of all of creation in our universe. And what's very interesting is that as we go through this expansion process and now contraction process, it actually means that that dot, a singularity, has kind of expanded, and created, and then seeing different versions of itself, different facets of itself, and experiencing the big thing. And then it's almost like God is now resting, and then it's coming back into unity or oneness. So we've been hearing a lot about, coming back to oneness, to unity, respecting each of us as part of the one, the whole. Well, maybe this is what is meant by that. So that involution process can be re-experiencing all of us connected, literally like the reverse Big Bang, to that one thing. I don't know what it's going to look like, Maybe that'll end in our timeline. Maybe it won't. I'm just the messenger. So certainly if you are connected to source a lot and have your own conversations, check in with your highest self and source and see what you get as a part of the explanation. Maybe you have another perception that complements this one or something completely different, which is completely fine. Go ahead and put that in the comments underneath this video. I'd love to know what your thoughts and feelings are about this. Now, when I got the message that we are in the exhale phase, if you will, of the breath of the multiverse, the Infiniverse, all of creation. At first I thought, well, shouldn't I be scared? And the answer was no. But I thought, well, could someone be scared potentially hearing this? And the answer was yes. So one of the biggest fears that we have, at least all of humanity, one of our traumas, if you will, let's just say, maybe it's a conditioned response from millennia, is the fear of annihilation. Now, this isn't just humans, right? This can be anyone. It could be, other species. It could be Andromedans. It could be reptilians. It could be, mantis. It could be anybody, right? So that fear of annihilation sometimes causes us, when we're embodied in our 3D manifested form, to act be less than optimal ways. Yes, sometimes we can make decisions based on fear, and that fear can cause problems. And I like to say now, instead of is it good or bad, does it work or does it not work? So how do you know if it works? Well, whatever it is works when you're getting more of what it is you say you want. Say you want world peace, prosperity, harmony, maximal health, right? So whatever it is you're doing, deciding, choosing, if that results in what it is you want, then whatever you are doing, thinking, perceiving is working. So continue doing that. And it could be completely opposite to what I'm perceiving. And that's okay. So does it work or doesn't it work? So as we go through this so-called exhalation process, one of the things that can come up is, oh my God, I'm going to die, right? If all of creation ceases to exist. May or may not happen in this lifetime, of course. But what if we could just delete that programming, delete that fear of annihilation? And we're going to do that today. If you would like to receive this TOLPAKAN Healing Activation, you can just go ahead and make the intention to receive. And we're actually going to do another TOLPAKAN Healing Activation today as well, because I recently got another message from Source. And this has to do with one of the last videos that I did in the Spiritual Medicine Digest called multi-proxying. In there, I mentioned briefly about some sensitive souls having to deal with multiple other souls in their field that have some sort of resonance with whatever trauma they used to have or have currently. And sometimes it's for their highest and greatest good to deal with them and heal those other souls directly. Other times, not so much. It can be an interference with your everyday enjoyment of life. So I was asking Source earlier in the week, well, how can we handle this a little better instead of having symptoms and then deciding or choosing or muscle testing, okay, who do I heal? Who do I not heal? Do I have to check my boundaries, etc., right? It can be a lot of work. I mean, that could happen every 5 minutes that you have other souls that come to you and go, hey, love what you're doing, would like some help over here, right? So I said, okay, how can we do this better? At first, I thought maybe we can automate something. Maybe we can create an automatic alignment activator or use our Ascension 3 tools to automatically 24/7 just heal the others so we don't have to deal with them manually one by one, etc. Well, I got to know that was not going to be effective or allowed. So I asked, well, is there a way for us to deal with that scenario easier, with more grace, without necessarily having symptoms of other souls coming to our fields? And interestingly, thanks to some of my students, I actually didn't even know this was happening. So I have to give them some kudos for letting me know about it, because I personally wasn't all that effective. So Source did have an answer for that, and the answer was divine light. So light resonance, divine light. And I want to thank one of my VIP clients for actually clairaudiently giving me the name, light resonance. And I'm like, yeah, that totally resonates. What does it mean? So long story short, what it means is when we are resonating 100% with divine light, not necessarily love, light, and truth, but divine light, when we are resonating consistently, constantly in 100% divine light, our divine light, we will not be affected, at least, our physical bodies or forms, disturbed. We will not be affected by these other souls asking for help. And even though we may choose to heal them, or maybe some of them may get healed just by being in our field, if we do choose to heal them, we can just set a time, like once a day, for example, is what I would recommend, is just go ahead. If you do divine muscle testing, just check in to see, are there any souls in your field that would be for your highest and greatest good to heal. Make sure that your boundaries are good. So there's all this testing that you can do, which you know how to do if you are in TOLPAKAN level 1 and level 2 training. And then, that's your civic duty for the, not civic duty, but your sensitive soul duty for that day. And then, do whatever healing on yourself and all your alternate selves to either maintain or grow to that 100% divine light. One of the hints that you'll know, it's not all encompassing, but one of the hints you'll know is that when you're shining your divine light 24/7, 100% of the time, it's very unlikely that you will necessarily be reactive to things going on in the outside world. You'll have more neutrality, even love or compassion to whatever's happening. If you do get triggered, it just kind of dissolves fairly quickly, not because you force it, but because you see the greater whole. And the greater whole is that we are all one, we are all unity. And so whatever you see out here is just a reflection of some facet of the other of us having whatever experience they're having, so we can get to that compassion piece really, really quickly. Yes, so 100% divine light. So in TOLPAKAN healing, you would just check in and maybe use your TOLPAKAN healing guides, 1, 2, or 3 that come with the TOLPAKAN level 1 program. What can heal today that would help me resonate 100% divine light 24/7 at all times, and then see what you get and heal that for that day. And you might want to do this every day. In addition to just checking in once a day, are there any other souls in your field or around you that are requiring or asking for help that you are allowed to heal? So I know that feels kind of complex, but if you are in level 1, level 2, you know what I'm talking about, right? So let's do the TOLPAKAN healing part A first. The fear of annihilation. So what I want you to do, if it's safe for you to do so, is go ahead and close your eyes, rub your hands together, get it really, really hot. We're just going to move the chi and energy. If you know the 𝗟𝗚𝗚𝗚, stillness through observing eternal movement, you don't have to do this step if you no longer need to. Relax your hands, feel the movement, energy, and vibration in your hands, and then wherever it goes, just focus on it, feel it, and follow the flow in your body. Allow your mind just to keep following it in your body, wherever it is. Here is our doorway to stillness through the body. And as we enter this 0 point, I'm going to go ahead and do the TOLPAKAN Healing Activation. If you'd like to receive, just make that mental yes to receive. Here we go. I now command that the fear of annihilation and all energies associated with it be deleted, dissolved, and uncreated in the highest and best way, all directions of time and all realities where you exist with ease, speed, and grace. So go ahead, just feel the body, feel and sense if there's a shift. There may or may not be. Just sense it. Okay, let's do part 2. It's now commanded that anything preventing you from resonating in your 100% divine light be healed now with ease, speed, and grace in the highest and best way. Thank you. All right, so go again, feel the body again. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Would love to get some feedback from you, so go ahead and post in the comments after you watch this activation what it feels like in the body. What did you notice? Did the energy shift? Did it move? Did it get bigger, smaller? Did you feel lighter, heavier? Whatever it is, would love to know. And of course, put in the comments if you have any other thoughts or perceptions around this coming back to the singularity, to the one, the involution, the exhale, back to that one point of unity, and what that's going to look like and feel like. We can all just guess, right? Until it happens. So I have some announcements for this week. Number one is the Light Warrior Radio Show on Monday, October 10th. I'm going to have the great pleasure of interviewing my friends Hamilton and 𝗟𝗓𝗚𝗢𝗓, the twin soul poets. We're going to be talking about twin flames, twin souls, what all that is, how do you attract sustainable, beautiful love, and twin flame love even in your life. So this is a call-in show, so you can definitely call in and ask for some support and some wisdom. These are two really beautiful people, and I'm so happy that they're going to come on the show, and I'll be interviewing them live on Monday at 12 noon Eastern. So I'll put the link near this video so you'll have it. Also, some cool stuff, new stuff, launching on next Friday on the 14th at 5 p.m. Eastern is the Supercharge Your Healing Abilities 3-hour workshop with my personal mentor, Marcus Bird. I will be there as a support, holding the energy and the space. Now, this is a little bit different from what he's done in the past. This one is not only for practitioners. So this one is for anyone interested in natural healing. He's going to be talking about what's going on in the world right now, why things seem so unstable, and how you can actually feel better through the quote-unquote ascension process by stabilizing yourself in time and space, what all that means, sacred geometry inside your body. So definitely join us for that. I'll put the link near this video. The other thing that is launching now is the Empath, Intuitive, and Sensitive Summit, and that's going to be super cool. This was super popular last year, and we have a different host this year, and I think you'll really enjoy my piece in there, which is around the topic of the 5 healing types, or the 5 self-responsibility types. So if you're interested, definitely click the link near this video so you can register for that summit. It's absolutely free to come in and watch all the beautiful interviews on there, and I really thoroughly enjoyed myself on that interview talking about the 5 healing types. Other things is that I have a new playlist on YouTube. It is called Health, Freedom, Myths, and Misconceptions. And one of the reasons I created this little playlist, I'm going to do little short videos for the whole month of October 2022, is that there are a lot of myths around those of us that are pro-choice and pro-health freedom. In fact, we got some interesting feedback right after we formally launched the Health Freedom Tribe, and so that gives me plenty of material for this series. So if you'd like to check out this series, I'll put the link below as well. And because a lot of times, those that are pro-health freedom may or may not resonate with the whole spiritual aspect, and that's where I love to play in, and as well as the people in the Health Freedom Tribe. So if you are interested in joining a group of people in a private community, in our circle community, Allied Medicine community, in the Health Freedom Tribe, this is where you can get censorship-free support and love. We're not going to make fun of you. We're not going to make fun of anyone, actually. It's all going to be about self-healing. It's all going to be about natural health and supporting ourselves and getting along, creating harmony in our lives. So there's no fighting. That's just not the energy. And so if you're into that energy, then definitely check us out. I'll put the link near this video. There is a 65% discount through October 31st to join the Health Freedom Tribe on Circle. And would love to have that conversation with you every week live on Zoom. And the other series we have is called Healthy Habits, Healthy Life, and every weekend I record a new one for the year of 2022. So I'm doing kind of a mini footwear series. So the one we did just the other day is called Soft Star Shoes. So I share with you my primal Mary Janes, why I like them so much, and why I feel that they're a very healthy way to treat your feet and your spine while walking in those shoes, and how pretty they are as well. So check out that video. So thank you so much for joining me for this week's Spiritual Medicine Digest. Again, make sure you subscribe, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and please comment below this video. Would love to hear from you. Until next time, bye for now.